Okay, off trackers and blue rockers. This is Toby Johnson coming to you live from the Yakima summer camp area of Carson, Washington. Well, as you know already, Connie is up here at Alyssa's house, and she has given us the opportunity to do some B-roll footage as they call it in the biz. And we are now hiking down a lava tube riverbed, or a creek bed. This is creek squatching as we call it, and I'm going to go ahead and try to roll some footage here without falling in the water. The water is so dark in the shade here you can't really see where you're stepping, so it goes from, you know, about that deep to all of a sudden about that deep in a single instant. And this Yakima summer camp has of course left behind some relics, and recently there was some relics uncovered by Alyssa's neighbors, including some Sasquatch prints on her property, which I think she spoke about. I myself have been out and about, going off track. You can check out my YouTube series as well. It's under Off Track on YouTube, and they're the misadventures of me looking at the peripheral issues of Sasquatch and all the other phenomena related to it, because there seems to be a John Keel type scenario to this phenomena of Bigfoot, where things are attached to it, and you know, paranormal's looking back at you when you look at it. And so right now we are heading to a cave, or an outcropping, probably left over from an air bubble in one of the one of the lava tube moments. Oh! Now you can see where we're headed. That way. Look at this. It's quite a bit larger than I thought it was going to be. Quite a bit. Holy smokes. I was wondering why I was just trying to figure this out here. I got to take a side note. I thought I broke my toe. That'd be really, really weird. But there's my big toe. And so we gotta do some technical stuff here. Get over there! Now that toe, no, we're gonna have to take those off. We'll do it later. Oh yeah, look at that. Now some people will see faces of little blue rockers inside that, and I call that hopeful imagination, pareidolia. But sometimes events will happen, supernatural events, where you will see something appear. I mean, we're getting back into the ghost theory, where things will appear on camera that won't appear with your eye, and vice versa. And some of those things are orbs. Look at that. It reminds me of a location called Hellhole, believe it or not, in the Willamette Forest. Oh, look at this. If this isn't a spot where they hung out, I don't know what is. There's got to be stuff buried in here. Just gotta be. This is nice. I don't see any signs of drawings. Okay, little blue rockers. I keep wanting to say blue ballers. Alright. Blue rockers, off trackers, and all around crack whackers. We are now deep within the bowels of what can only be described as a scene out of Raiders and a little bit of Romancing the Stone. All hail the young Kathleen Turner. Ugh, have you seen her lately? She's got man chops.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting close to the secondary cave, and we're in this beautiful spot. I mean, you can just see how gorgeous this area is. But there you go. Now I'm glowing like I've just been hit with a nuclear bomb. There we go. Anyway, headed down this way. Let's go check it out. Look at this. Look at that. I think this is like been honed out from people's rears over the years. If you look on that, you probably find some DNA of a Yakima elder. And then that little money shot right there. Swoops on down. It's like a man-made installation. It really is quite interesting, but it's also really telling, because you can't imagine that there wouldn't have been some Yakimas that have used this for some kind of ceremony. It looks like it was kind of made for that. So we'll just walk back in here. I don't know if you can come in here safely. But if you look down in here, this is a shelf, and it has these really beautiful flowing, almost look like quartz spattered rocks on here. This is maybe some kind of basalt. But these sharp angled rocks you're not seeing anywhere else here. You're seeing a lot of smooth flowing areas and pocketed rocks, slow drying lava masses. But this is really interesting rock. And this part right here, you can't imagine. You're saying that you saw something here at one time when you took a photo. Tell them what you saw.
Absolutely. Right over this way, we kept seeing lights.
Back in this area?
Yeah, go over there in that cave.
Did you see them with your own eye or afterwards?
No, we weren't looking for them, and they showed up afterwards, afterwards. And then we saw one orb and a lot of what looked like smoke right behind you if you turn around.
Right in this area?
Yeah.
And you weren't smoking, you didn't have incense burning or sage, you weren't up here doing any of that stuff?
Nope.
I mean, this is what we're talking about, Blue Rockers, is when Connie comes to a location like this, you know, she's got a great personality, she's a pretty gal, she does her own radio show, she did the QVC thing, but she's in an area right now that's so overwhelmingly beautiful that it kind of changes the dynamic from her personality to a location like this. And so we're happy to film footage for you like this, but it takes a little work to get into an area like this, you would say? That this is kind of a technical...
This is a crawling, it's not a hiking, it's a crawl.
I mean, I slipped a couple times. If you have camera equipment or you have any kind of health issues, you're not going to want to come back to a place like this, but it's worth taking the time to do, even if you have all those other problems going on. So I'm just tickled to be back in this, I guess, what I would call Indian ritual zone. So let's try to find proof or evidence here. And we're not going to disturb anything if we find it, but I would be shocked if we didn't find some kind of, you know, little sign. In fact, I don't know. You put that there. I mean, anybody could have done that. It could have fell from any. But you know, you see, of course, people are doing this kind of stuff all the time. But when you find this way out in nature, that's, you know, that's not happenstance. That's someone with fingers. Yeah, back in this area here, if we had a good flashlight, I would be really curious to see what's under some of these rocks. But they're so perfectly organized, you wouldn't want to touch it. I mean, you really feel like someone designed this. You can almost see Gollum coming out of the corner here. All right. Wow, what's this? This kind of looks... No, that's natural. I mean, some of these things you could walk away, and if you didn't look hard enough, you'd say, oh, I see something here, but you can see the folds, the natural folds. This was created by time. Okay, well, we just left the, what I'll call the crystal cave here, and I'm coming down, and I see some owl turds or bird turds, and I was thinking maybe that was a big turd, but that is a stone. And you were just down here?
It looks like, yeah, last week, and it wasn't there. Looks like a cord cutting device. We would have seen that.
Okay, should we pick it up?
No, leave it.
Okay.
to flow.
So that would be very difficult to explain as far as being natural, because you wouldn't have an animal do that, you wouldn't have nature do that. It's just too dry out here, there's no surge of water doing that. And she's saying it's a cord cutting device, which would be a... Explain that. A cord cutting ceremony is basically a Native American ceremony to do what?
Maybe that was left there for you to cord cut. Maybe you should pick it
that's
up.
my thing.
You found it.
What did we call it? What are we looking for me? This is my talogal.
Okay, go get your talogal.
That's cool. She told me to look for a rock called a talogal, and it would be a rock that jumped out to me.
It's a gift.
And I can't imagine that this isn't what you're talking about.
It's a gift.
Wow, that's super cool.
Left a gift, you get a gift.
I didn't leave a good gift.
You did. You left tobacco and you left hair. You're good.
I left a gift. Blue Rockers. This is my awesome rock. I'm gonna have to name it later. I'll put it in every frame of the shot. Nice. There are many rocks like this, but none like mine. This is my rock. Okay, so this rock was just down from the other one, and it's a really interesting rock. I'm going to pick it up here. It's in kind of the shape of a heart, you'd agree?
Yeah.
And it has two sides to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
This might be my
dark and
talogal.
light. Both of them. They were both for you. You found them both.
Wow. If it has my name on the back of it, I'm really going to freak. But that is pretty crazy looking. I've never seen a rock like that down here. Sorry. That came with an ant. So those rocks go together.
By the way, that's white quartz. It's a power stone.
Blue Rockers. These are not blue rocks, but they are very special. I wouldn't have gifts, I guess, to T-Dog. So we are. What's interesting is we're now at the end, and these rocks were waiting at the end of the trail.
Yeah, they were. We had to turn on.
At the base. All right. Well, we're having pretty good luck here. Looking for crawdads, and we just missed one. The sun is revealing a whole lot more on our way back up, including this shot. There's those time warping walls of the rocks. We're going to try to get a nice shot here of a crawdad. Now, crawdad is basically the river's version of a baby lobster. They're part of the spider family, though, which is kind of gross to start to think about eating crabs. But they're yummy little spiders. Whoa! Look at that. Look at that pocket full of love. Come on. You know how gorgeous that is. That looks like a grotto. I'm going to call this the grotto. In something like a movie, maybe this is a key, and this is a keyhole. Let's see what happens here. This is very visually stunning. This can only go one way. Oh, does it fit? It does fit. Now look at that shadow. Maybe as that shadow turns, it'll point to something like Stonehenge or a sundial. It's pointing up this way. Now you might have to sit here for a while to get it to the right. If the sun goes this way, that means the shadow is going to probably crawl down. This is pretty neat footage.